the Healing Through Love podcast with Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
So, what's your thoughts on the frequency of forgiveness?
Right at the end of our 3-hour process is forgiveness. And it's coming to a place of gratitude. So you actually are grateful for the experience you've had. And when you say that to people, they sort of look at you like you're crazy, because why would you want to go and seek it? And it's like, well, we don't, but it's given you everything that got you to this point. Mm-hmm. We learn from our trauma. You got your greatest characteristics from your trauma. Mm-hmm. Your parents you weren't born, your parents went, oh, let's go to IGA. We'll have some consideration. She'll be a great listener and she can be independent and she can have some respect, and some resilience and some rebellious. And that's not how you get your characteristics. We get them from our trauma. And so it's becoming aware of, well, where did my awesomeness come from? And it came from your pain.
Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
Welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast. I'm Charlene Lynch, and together we are shining the light on hope, resilience, and transformation on the journey to end domestic violence. Each week we bring you inspiring interviews with changemakers, survivors, advocates, and experts who are making a difference in the lives of those who are affected by domestic and family violence. Whether you're on a healing journey yourself or supporting someone who is, this is your space for powerful stories, practical tools, and heartfelt inspiration. Let's heal through love. I've got a very special guest with us today. It's Kristy. She's passionate about empowering people to live longer, healthier lives. She's an amazing listener, and she really wants to sit down and have a conversation with you. She's got an amazing skill set that enables you to get from where you are to where you want to be in a space of 3 hours. It's literally like magic. It's not a long-term therapy. It's a short-term answer to a long-term problem. I'd love to introduce to you. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Charlene. Thanks so much for having me. I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
It's great to be here, and it's great to chat. You're in Western Australia. I'm in South Australia. We've got a little bit of a time difference, but we're all good. Thank God for Zoom. I love it. Now,
absolutely.
How did you get to where you are right now? How did you become such an advocate for this space?
I was on a bit of a self-discovery journey. I was having my own trauma that I'd been through. So I was sexually abused at 7, and like most kids, didn't believe anyone would believe me, so I didn't say anything. My family had other issues that they were going through at the time, and I just tried to be the good kid and not give my parents any more stress. So holding on to like that secret, it stirs in your body, and emotions are chemicals, and chemicals create illness. So if we don't move and shift our stuff, it'll catch up with us eventually. So I have this process, as you were saying, and I discovered that by doing my work myself, I was able to heal myself. So I've been symptom-free. I live a great life. I now have a relationship with a loving man that I can be intimate with. It's possible to do all of that, and I love to help clients achieve that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to go into the depths of the story, but let's have a look at the symptoms that you had. So if you're a listener today and you're wondering, well, what could be my symptoms? Look, I know that I've had an issue in the past, but what do these symptoms, what could they manifest as?
Yeah, so they're things like not wanting to be touched, not wanting to be intimate, being scared, high anxiety, social interactions are difficult. And then other things more physically related to your reproductive area, dysmenorrhea, high bleeding, painful periods, endometriosis, cystic, polycystic fibrosis and things like that as well. Like a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and periods don't all have to be like that.
So we're talking about everything that affects that chakra. So is that what we're talking about in the reproductive area?
Correct. We find that a lot of women who have experienced that sort of trauma have these sort of symptoms.
And they hold it in that area. Okay. And so that's what could manifest. So when you say about movement, are you talking about dancing? Are you talking about jumping up and down? When you say about movement, are you talking about energetically moving, or are you talking about moving the frequency around the body?
Correct. So about moving and shifting the emotions and the feelings that come with that. So it's a sit down exercise where we look and chat and have the process of releasing that chemical that our body's holding on to. You know, when you rethink about it, you regenerate that chemical. So when something's stuck in your head or stuck in your body, you're allowing it to refeel, and then it multiplies.
Okay.
And that's how when the symptoms start.
Right. So if you're listening today and you've already identified that you've had a challenge in the past and you've got any of these symptoms, then a therapy, like she's saying, is something that you need to lean into. So you said that it's quick. How quick is this therapy?
About 3 hours.
Wow, that's amazing. And so you just do it once, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a once-off session with me, correct.
Kristy, that's like, it just sounds like it's a miracle.
You have to do the work. You have to turn up.
I love that. Everybody can turn up for 3 hours. If you're having a challenge and this is manifesting in your body, then yeah, having that 3 hour session makes all of the difference. So, how do people work with you? Is it online or in person?
Mostly online. Got to love Zoom. As you're saying, different time zones. It allows me to work with women across the country rather than just those that are prepared to drive 20 minutes.
Yep, I love it. I love it. And you're in Western Australia, is that right?
I am, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love Western Australia. It's a beautiful place to visit. Yeah. So now you've got a bit of a background as well. So tell me how does the work that you do relate to what you're doing now, or are they completely separate?
Well, I have a medical background. I was a nurse previously. So I definitely believe in pharmaceuticals and the Western treatment, but this is just an alternative when you've tried all of that, or we work alongside this with that.
And so how does your particular skill set of being a great listener, how has that helped you with your nursing?
Yeah, for sure. Like everyone trusts a nurse, right? So they're more likely to share their stories with you. You know, like the doctor comes in for 5 minutes and is out again, doesn't have time to chat. People open up to nurses. We have a way of developing a deeper rapport. We're there because we care about the client and our patients.
Yeah, I gotta say, do you think that part of it is touch? Because what I notice about nurses, because I did work in the medical industry for a hot minute, is that nurses, even when they're communicating with you, they'll touch you when they're talking to you and when they're showing you things. And if you're a patient, they're touching you. Whereas doctors, I don't know, it seems a little clinical. And I believe that touch creates trust. So there could be some of that as well. But you've got these great listening skills and you're a fantastic nurse. In this environment where you were nursing, did you see that there were other people having these challenges that were manifested in their body, and did you put the link together that some of this could have been family and or domestic violence?
Not at the time, no. So I've been on a big personal discovery since and discovered quantum physics as well as other epigenetics and all of, placebos, nocebos and all of that sort of stuff after my nursing career.
Yeah, but how powerful is it to have that medical knowledge there and the accreditation, and then also on top of that, have all of that power really to understand genetics, epigenetics, and everything else in between. I love it, and it's great because you can give a I don't know, like a bipartisan, like you can see all of the picture and decide what parts are true, what parts might not be true. I love that. That's fantastic. So what's new? What's next for you in 2025?
Great question. I look forward to publishing my book this year. So I want to do a book series in this space as well. So that's probably my priority at the moment.
Oh, I love that. Yes, it's a great way to continue a speaking career by having a book and then going and talking about it. That's fantastic. But you do talk on the subject, on this particular subject, though, don't you? You talk on healing, yes?
Absolutely. Yeah, I run groups as well.
Excellent. And are they online or in person?
Online.
Yeah. And are they mainly around family and domestic violence, or are they for people just generally that need to heal from trauma?
Just people, but I seem to have a way of attracting those in. So I'll start talking to a client about something, and then it'd be like, and what else happened in your childhood? And what about this? And they'll be like, well, I've never told anyone, but this happened. And I'm like, yeah, I got that first from talking to you.
Yeah.
And
So
we can delve deeper into that to explore that and to release that.
yeah, it's like the similar frequencies attract, yes? And
Absolutely.
they feel comfortable to be able to, I don't know, like as a survivor myself, I can just tell even with people's body language and I'm not as empathetic as you are, but I still will ask the questions and at least hold the space for them to be able to feel comfortable in a safe place to have a conversation. So yes, I'm not as amazing a listener as you are, just saying, but that's all good. I'm a better talker than I am a listener. I love it. All right. So this year you're going to be writing a book, which is fantastic, and you'll still be seeing clients personally for your beautiful process that you take them through this 3 hour like magic process that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. And then you've obviously got the group programs that you're running as well. So are you going to be moving forward in 2025 and speaking more on this particular subject?
Yeah, I would like to. So I look forward to having that up. I would to have some videos being edited at the moment. So I'm looking forward to having a higher presence on social media to reach more people, to help more people.
I love it. I love it. And so we've got your links that we'll share in the show descriptions and also the show notes so that people can reach out and connect with you to have a conversation to see if they're a good fit for this 3 hour miracle. And they can see how they can move away from, the aches, the pains, the challenges that you haven't found other answers for. And unpick, really take apart the story that's holding you in this frequency and recreate a new story so that you can heal, really, and live the life that God intended, basically. I love it. So, as a survivor myself, one of the biggest tools that I've found for me has been leaning into forgiveness. And that's like a really hot subject with survivors, like to forgive or not to forgive, and everything else that's in between. But I've found that if I've been able to get myself to a place where I can not talk about forgetting, but at least forgive, that it's actually helped me heal. And I like to say heal at the speed of love. So, like, what's your thoughts on the frequency of forgiveness?
Right at the end of our 3 hour process is forgiveness. And it's coming to a place of gratitude. So you actually are grateful for the experience you've had. And when you say that to people, they sort of look at you like you're crazy, because why would you want to go and seek it? And it's like, well, we don't, but it's given you everything that got you to this point. We learn from our trauma. You got your greatest characteristics from your trauma. Your parents didn't, you weren't born, your parents went, oh, let's go to IGA. We'll have some consideration. She'll be a great listener and she can be independent and she can have some respect, and some resilience and some rebellious. And that's not how you get your characteristics. We get them from our trauma. And so it's becoming aware of, well, where did my awesomeness come from? And it came from your pain.
Yeah. I love it. I love the story of the golf ball. It's one of my favorite stories. So, listeners, did you know that the golf ball, when it was originally created, was completely smooth, like a tennis ball, completely smooth? And then, once they were using it, it started to get dents and scratches in it. And what they noticed is the more dents and scratches is the truer and furthest it flew. So then they created golf balls with dimples in them. So, like I like to think as my trauma, I've had a lot, are my dimples. And that, like a golf ball, I can go further and faster, and I'm just a smidge more interesting as well. So I love it. I love being a golf ball rather than a table tennis ball. More information than you needed to know, but that's okay. That's what happens at this end of the day. It's more conversational than educational. If you're listening today and you're a survivor of family and or domestic violence, please reach out to Healing Through Love. We have Pamper Days. Think day spas on steroids, where you can come along and it's completely free and receive so much love, so much grace. So think you go and get a skincare treatment done, and then you go and have your hair done, and then you get your makeup done, or you might have a massage treatment, or your chakras aligned. Like, pick a subject. There's 25 therapists at each of our Pamper Days, and it is truly an amazing experience. So if you're a survivor yourself, or you're helping somebody who's in that space, keep your eyes out with Healing Through Love and come and connect with us. We'd love to have you as a guest. And if you're listening today and you're a therapist yourself, we would love to connect with you. We've got people all over the world running Pamper Days, and we'd love to connect you to a local Pamper Day happening in your area. This has been a lovely conversation, and I'd love you, for your final words, if you could share your words of wisdom to our audience today.
Yeah, I think I would really love for more people to talk about it. You know, we talk about cancer, we talk about depression, we talk about lots of other topics and illnesses, but this is such a taboo secret, and yet it's so common. You know, it affects nearly 1 in 3. So why are we hiding it? Why are we making ourselves sick when we could heal through love, forgiveness, gratitude?
Absolutely. And that's what Healing Through Love is here, to have these beautiful conversations, to bring it into the light, to create a level of awareness, to shift the way the universe sees family and domestic violence, to take it out of the darkness and into the shadows, to have the beautiful conversations. And thank you for joining us today to be one of these beautiful conversations. And we look forward to having you back maybe later in 2025 once the book's launched, and finding out more about what you're doing and where you are.
That's fantastic, Charlene. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed today. And I look forward to being a practitioner at one of your Pamper Days as well, because I also do Reiki and doTERRA aroma touch massage as well. So I would love to give that to your listeners as well.
I love it. I love it. We're so hooked on that. It's going to be fantastic having you at one of our Pamper Days. It's a goodbye from me and a goodbye.
And goodbye from me.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.